This out. Paul McCartney performing while covered in grasshoppers. He was playing in Brazil back in May, and out came the insects in droves. Paul just played along with them, even naming one of the bugs Harold, so he's still got a great sense of humor. Sir Paul going to perform at Miller Park tomorrow night, and we have invited a few Ultra fans in to share their McCartney experiences. They travel all over to see him. Thanks a lot for joining us. We've got John, we've got Patty, and we've got Katie as well. Thanks for being here.
Oh, thanks, Jake.
John, let's start with you. Tell us a little bit about how long you've been a fan and why you're such a McCartney fan.
As a kid, brothers had the Red and Blue albums, the greatest hits albums. That's all I knew, married into the Beatles' love. My wife Heidi is a huge fan, got me into it. We've seen them a bunch of times. Kids have seen them. Got an autograph from the second row at Bradley Center a couple of years ago.
Wow, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Okay, Patty, tell us about, you got the Beatles t-shirt on, so are you just Paul or are you all the Beatles?
Oh, I love all the Beatles.
Yeah.
Paul was always my favorite as a teenager, but since then I've learned to love them all equally.
And how many times have you seen him perform?
I think I'm on number 6 or number 7 now.
Wow.
I've seen him a few times in Chicago and in Milwaukee. So.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's all like sellout crowds every time, probably.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Katie, tell us about your love for all things McCartney.
Ever since I was about 11 years old, my dad and my brother, huge oldies nuts and whatnot, and I got into one song by George Harrison, and I'm like, who is this George Harrison guy? And I looked up in the dictionary, it says See Beatles, and I'm like, oh wow, the Beatles sang this, and fall in love with them, and the rest is history.
Now I see you have a guitar pick necklace on there. Is there any significance to that?
Nope, just a Beatles necklace.
And you got to show us your sign. You got a big sign you brought along. I understand.
Yes, my #1 hope and dream in life is to be signed by Paul McCartney because I'm having a Beatles-themed wedding in August.
Wow!
And I would love nothing more than to have him sign my arm.
So you're going to be close enough to have him see it?
I'm in row 7.
Oh.
That's probably close
pretty
enough.
close. That would be great if that could
crossed.
happen. And it looks like you brought some things along as well, Patty.
I did, actually. I traveled to a lot of different Beatle festivals around and know lots of Beatle people in the United States.
Yeah.
And a couple of the festivals I go to I wanted to share. I have I brought with me the cover of Abbey Road on the River in Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah.
Wonderful. It's over the Memorial Day weekend, 5-day festival, and it's one of the most fun festivals, best music, and you meet the best people. It's like going back to the 60s.
Yeah.
And I also always go to the Fest for Beatle Fans in Chicago. They also have one in New York, and these are 2 of the festivals that I really enjoy, so it's a great way to meet other people like us.
Absolutely, and there are millions of you out there, I'm sure, kindred spirits all around one thing, Paul McCartney and the Beatles. Okay, we're going to have our quiz now. You may have noticed that we have spared no expense coming up with our little game show set here. So here's the deal. I'm going to ask a question, and there is no political correctness here. Shout out the answers. You don't have to raise your hand. And then we have a very valuable prize, or at least a prize of some kind, for the one who gets the most answers correct. Okay, here we go. Paul McCartney's real first name.
James.
Paul McCartney.
Who got that first? Okay, that is the correct answer. Our judges in the control room are going to have the final verdict. Oh yes, a ding, ding, ding there. All right, who was his schoolboy idol?
Elvis.
No, wrong. Another one?
Don't know.
Chuck Berry.
Close.
Little Richard.
Little Richard.
Little
Oh, there
Richard.
you go.
We're going to
Well
actually
done.
give that to Patty because she did get that. All right, our next
I thought I got
question.
it.
Yes, I'm sorry. Katie, I'm sorry. All right, what was the first song he performed in public?
My Bonnie.
Nope, it's a good guess, but not
Long Tall Sally?
There you go. Katie once again. Katie got that one right. Okay, and let's see here. Is this our last one? We got one more. How old was Paul when he wrote When I'm 64, and how old is he now?
He's 71 now, and he would have been about, I'm going to guess, maybe 22.
You're half right. You're right on the first count. How old was he when he wrote
71 and 24.
71 and 16. So nobody gets that one. And finally, fill in the blank. And it is, I want to tell her that I love her a lot, but I got to get a...
Belly full of wine.
Belly full of wine is the correct answer. Katie, once again. And because of that, Katie wins, and we have for Katie 2 priceless
Wow.
TMJ4. These look like they could be crystal. They're not plastic, I know that. They might not be crystal, so we will send those over to Katie, or at least one of them, and we'll supply the other one after the show. Thank you so much for coming in. You guys, are you all going tomorrow night?
Yeah. Yes.
All going, have fun, and good luck with the wedding.
Thank you very much.
Getting it autographed as well. That would be super duper.
And I will brush up on my trivia.
Thanks, you're all good.